Hey everyone. Thought I'd come on here while I'm waiting on some wax to cool. See how y'all were doing. Anybody wanted to chat? I am making the candle that Sundry Girl ordered, and then 3 more that are, well, actually 2 more that are specialty made. But other than that, same old for me. Doing dishes, cooking dinner, blah, blah, blah. Same old boring story. But I do have a prospect on a job that someone messaged me and asked me if I needed a job. Just kind of odd that I put that out in the universe the other day. And it pays well, and it's right here. I don't have to drive an hour and a half actually 2 hours back and forth to work every day. And it'd take me all of 5 minutes to get there. So I guess we'll see. Other than that, I'm not doing anything. So I thought I'd come on here and see what y'all were doing. Well, I am making those candles, but so I may have to get up if anybody gets on here while we're chatting and work on them. But I will say one thing while I'm on here. I get a lot of emails, and I'm so sorry. I was thinking that the minute I was coming on here, that I should have made a list out of questions. One stood out. Okay. There are a lot of witches on YouTube. Okay. And TikTok, let's just say all over the internet. Most every one of them is going to do something a little different. Okay. That's why we're unique creatures, just like any other normal human being is unique within themselves. So, what I may tell you to do isn't necessarily what another witch is going to tell you to do. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. It doesn't mean she's wrong or he. It just simply means this is the way we do things. And it works for us. As I said, everyone is going to tell you something different. So, what do you think about so and so? And she does it like this. And do you think that's wrong? Okay, that's not what the email is for. I'm not here to judge any of the other witches. I don't care what they do in their practice. Yes, I have said and will always say that there are some things some witches do that I just do not agree with. That's my prerogative. I don't do things that way, and well, it's just a lot of them go against all manners of witchcraft, if you ask me. But that's their business. I don't get on here and bash people and all that. So, yeah, don't fill up my email with, well, so and so said this and so and so said that. I understand, and I told you to get different opinions. You may take something out of a spell that I give you, and take that part, and then what another witch gives you, and maybe you get another one. And you take little bits and pieces of each one and put them together, and that may be what works for you. So be it. That's how we discover who we are and how we are in our own craft. For that matter, like I've always said, and I stressed, all the time I stress, make up your own spells. Do your own work. It's much more personalized, and I honestly believe that it works better. Okay, because you wrote those words. You took just taking the time to pick out your herbs, um, to write your spell out, all that sort of thing that goes in the preparedness and the preparation of you doing that spell. Hi, Aiden. And so that right there is putting your intent into it. You see what I'm saying? You know, Lord, if you're perfect, I know, sweetheart, you got it down. But yeah, and it's more fun. Seriously. And when the spell comes to fruition, it is so, you're like, wow, I did that. You know, I caused that to happen. And with your own will, with your own thought process, with your own ingredients. And I'm not saying by no means is it wrong to be asking other witches, you know, no problem at all. Um, Sharing is a big thing that we do. Um, Myself, if I have anything I can give you good hints on, then I'm more than willing to do it. That's why I'm on here. And so are a lot of other witches. Um, so I mean, and you will eventually develop your own way of doing things. This is what I said at the very beginning of my videos when this channel actually started out to teach the younger ones, which after several videos or however long I did it, I realized that there's so much information out there that I really couldn't tell you anything that there's not probably already a video about, unless it's my own personal views on things, which is my right. But yeah, I don't know how many emails I got. I can think of at least 5 in the last 2 weeks that were about, well, this witch said to do it this way, and you know, well, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care how another witch does it. You asked me, and this is how I do it. I don't. It's completely whatever. You know, as I said, everybody's going to tell you something different. I guarantee you, no witch does everything the exact same way, and we use our each other's spells. Um, there's a couple of witches on here that I've even thought, well, you know, that's a neat spell. I'm gonna use that. But what I do is I put something of my own in there. I'll take, you know, most of theirs, and then I'll add something from myself, something that I thought up and put in there, to personalize it, to make it my own. It's not exactly like who I got it from, does it? I assure you. Um, in fact, I've got several in my book of shadows, and I have written down there, you know, if I didn't make it up myself, then I have who I got it from. But you know, this is just the way of the witches. We always share with each other and try to. I think we just enjoy talking about it, to be honest. And we're curious. I mean, it's like bored housewives, you know, exchanging recipes for dinners and stuff like that. Same with us. Some witches even call their spells recipes, you know. Um, oh, I'm writing this recipe. Now, I don't know if that came from back in the day when you weren't allowed to really talk about it, or if that's just what they call it. I think it's pretty neat. I think it's cute. I'll just say spells. But yeah, not every witch is gonna do things the exact same way. Um, as I've said many, many times. Um, So now that I got that out, and there was one more, but I just cannot remember what it is right now. And I may think of it later on. I can't believe Lady Blonde ain't on here. But I'm just sitting around here making candles and having yet another night at home. I don't think I'll know what to do with myself. I'm going to go tomorrow, though, to talk to him about that job. And then I may go to the spa. Because I have a gift certificate that I got. Gosh, I think I've already told y'all about this. I got it on, oh my gosh, March 23rd, and I haven't used it yet. So I may go do that tomorrow, get my feet done. Because if I'm going to be on my feet all that time again, then I need to do something about it. I better go check my wax right quick, because I'm bad about that. I'll sit there and let it cool too long, and then it's useless. Well, not useless, but what did I do? Oh, okay. I swear, y'all, my brain. Are you still there, Aiden? Little turkey. I missed your live earlier or whenever it was. I put on there, missed you again. I don't get these notifications right, and I have the notification bell pushed. I might get a new job as well, because I'm so tired of my managers writing me up over and on issues. Yeah, you mentioned that. I just watched your other video that you put up there. I assume that's what you were talking about. Yeah. As I have told y'all, I'm sick of nursing. But I might as well face it. It's probably what I'll have to retire from, because I don't know anything else except maybe bartending and waitressing. And I honestly am pretty dang sure that I don't have the patience to do either one of those anymore. About this first time some damn drunk got in my face, that'd probably be the end of my job. Just saying. Hang on a sec. I'm going to check on these candles. Or this wax is what I'm saying. Okay, it's good to go. It's good to go. That bottle. Okay, now I'll sit here and talk to y'all while I stir. What time is it? One more change. So that 4:23. 4:23. Okay. Also, I'm starting to realize that having a spiritual job is not easy in any sense of the word. I want to think I can mentally handle it, but I don't really know. Well, you'll know if you're ready, Aiden. I mean, I'm not going to say you are or aren't. You know better than anyone. You could always try it. Maybe it's, we go through phases on this path. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, there's different stages. I'm a firm believer. We never stop learning, that's for sure. But yeah. And you don't know if you're going to like something until you try it. you know. Honestly, I love nursing. I really do. I love helping them. You know, I'm mainly I've always worked in geriatrics. I love helping them elderly people and listening to their stories and um, you know, making sure that their last days are safe and you know, however I can make their life better. And it makes me feel good too to help them. It's just it's not the people. It's the politics involved in nursing. Um, it's everybody, which I understand very well. Why the health department, you know, is breathing down nursing homes' necks and stuff like that all the time because there is a lot of abuse reported. But what they don't tell you is all the good, you know, all the good that people do. Um, and they're just, I mean, our jobs are hard enough. You work 2 days in a nursing home, and I guarantee you, you're gonna go, oh my God, what the hell did I just do? It's very low pay. Most of the time, you're just not appreciated at all. Even if you're good at your job, um, somebody's always going to find something to bitch at you about. You know, we're held to a very high standard, and we should be. Uh, it's just really, it's hard physically and emotionally. You know, mentally, it's hard mentally. It's uh, it's just a really hard job all the way around, and I get so tired. In fact, I had a major conversation over on Facebook on one of these posts that were popping up saying stuff about the elderly and the abuse and blah, blah, blah. And you know what I said to them as simple as I could? Um, if you don't like how they're being treated, take them home and take care of them yourself, like it's supposed to be anyway, you know. And I understand there are stipulating circumstances, you know, that they cannot do, that can't happen. And that's what we're there for. And yes, there are bad things that happen, and there are a lot of good. I think there are a lot of whiny bitches in witchcraft. Though people complain about small stuff and have no concept of shadow work. Right, you're right. And another thing I get tired of. I'm sorry, Bubba. I just kicked my cat in the nose. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Um, what I don't like is that they want a spell for everything. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that. Uh, I'm more in giving thanks to the gods and goddesses than, you know, and I do ask for strength every day, stuff like that. But instead of always wanting a spell, uh, do your work, do your own work in your own life. I mean, get up and make the movement. Even when a spell is cast for you, you still have got to get up and do the work. Um, if you're needing money, yeah, you can do a money spell. But seriously, do you think if you just sit on your butt in the kitchen like I do most of the time? Well, I don't sit on my butt, but you know what I mean. Um, that money's just all of a sudden going to drop in your lap. That's not the way it happens. People have witchcraft all messed up. It's empowering. It's empowering yourself to make these decisions. Now, I'm not going to say certain things aren't put in your path. Like if you're working and you're doing your budget one night and you know that, you know, you're not going to be able to pay bills next month. Or you can pay all your bills, but there won't be any groceries. you know, whatever it may be. Or you can do those, but you can't make your car payment. Um, you can do a spell for it, yeah. Um, I don't usually ask for it to be given to me, or, you know, I kind of put it like, show me a way, or more or less put an opportunity in my path that I can take to acquire this money, or, you know, to get help with what I need. Um, they could come in, and then all of a sudden you go to work the next day, and they announce, hey, you know, we're giving all the uh, nursing, everybody in nursing, so much an hour raise. Little things like that. Um, People think it has to be something huge and major happen in their lives to um, be able to say that the spell was answered, or that that it worked. It could be something very small. You have to be able to notice those small things and see where they're leading. It's not all about just going there, lighting a candle, and I mean, you could do that every day. As far as the love thing, and I've said this before, if you are with somebody that the universe knows you are not supposed to be with, stop doing the spells to try to get that person back. I mean, I believe those kind of things should be natural. You don't want somebody with you because there's a spell on them, do you? I mean, if you do, whatever. But I personally would not. I'd want them to be there of their own free will and with no influence from the ethers at all. Because I guarantee you it's not going to turn out right. Something's going to be wrong with it. You know, did y'all ever see that story, The Monkey's Paw? Yeah. Or even in Stephen King's book, whatever the hell it was, in his movie where that guy's son died and he missed him so bad and he had to go resurrect him, and you know, or dig him up, and had some sort of spell on him. Had someone put a spell on him, brought him back. Well, look, you see how that turned out. Wasn't very good. Same as a monkey's paw. So, you know, I mean, you do what you want. I always say that, but and I don't understand if, you know, usually most of the time, money spells, what have you. Most of the time, spells are done as a last resort, or that's how they used to be. Um, Everybody always tried to do things and get them out there on their own, before they, you know, called on the gods and the goddesses. Um, Now, everybody wants to spell for everything. You know, nobody wants to put out any sort of work. They just want to spell. But even while that witch is casting that spell for you, I would guarantee you it's not going to work if you don't do the footwork on it. Um, I don't know. I just anymore. I'll watch a bunch of stuff on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my god, I can almost hear the ancestors, you know, screeching, because some of it just sounds so ridiculous. Um, like I said, everybody's going to believe differently. So, but you know, if you'll find, if you look good enough, that there's one baseline, one basis that they have formed their own opinions on, and that's usually the same with all of us. Um, I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of what color I just made that. But anyway, you know, and I hear um, witches arguing, and I wouldn't even say really arguing. They're like debating loudly between each other. And I guess that's just personality, of the witches. It doesn't mean that they are not witches. That just means that that's their personality. Um, Even though we're witches, we have that in common. We're still, we still each have our own traits, our own personalities, our own thoughts, our own way of doing things. Same as any other human being in any other aspect of their lives. There you are, Lady Blonde Wolf. I was just telling Aiden. I wonder where Lady Blonde Wolf's at. I've already been on here for almost 30 minutes, woman. Oh, I had my hair all on top of my head. I've been doing candles. Oh, sometimes it's damn clippy right here. Look at that thing. Looks like a spider, don't it? Or crab. That's what big old thing's what has to hold up my hair all the time. If I take it down, I will look like a crazy witch, huh? Woo! It's funny. Sorry, been working on these cards in card pull video for show. Oh, it's okay. I was just kidding you. I was making candles. I'm still making that one for Sundry Girl. Making it tonight. Um, Still don't know that I got an address. Thought I had it. I have to write this down before I forget it. Yeah. Oh, you heard? No. Well, no. I got an email, but I don't remember. I'm so crazy, y'all. I have nothing going on but everything. Does that make sense? Seriously. I don't know. This hair can't stay down though. It's hot in here. I'm telling you that much. Yes. Well, I've got one. Uh, what have I got here? I've got hers. I've got two for love, and I've got one honeysuckle that I'm making. So I'm making four. I'm pretty sure that's all my jars. And these have herbs and intent in them. So, well, three of them do. I didn't put, um, and I even added some glitter in hers. I've gotten now to where I'd like to put glitter in all of them because it just makes it look prettier to me. But glitter's so expensive. I can believe it. And I bought there's probably 60 of these little things. And they're all different colors. I probably have every single color you can get. Different colors of green, different colors of red, silvers, light silvers, black. Yeah, yeah, I'm putting the glitter in there. So did those candles turn out more pink than orange? No, they were actually a light orange. Those were the other honeysuckles, right? Well, I've got one right now, the same batch that I had left over that's drying over here. I know you can't see it. I gotta pour these guys for my wax gets too cold. Be right back. Now, I gotta put some more of this on top. I was gonna wait till I got done here to I'm trying to perfect the way that the glitter sits. Because I honestly end up using too much. I think I need to wait until it dries a little more, I don't remember, but I did prove there. Yes, you did. Yeah, that's the color it turned out anyway. It's pink. Did I say orange? Shit, I don't remember. Y'all know me. I don't remember. Y'all better do a spell for me to get my brain back. I'm telling you. Wow. But yeah, I think from now on, when I put my glitter in there, I'm going to wait until the candle dries a little more. Hey, Turkish Princess, how are you? Well, it's afternoon where you're at, isn't it? Yeah, I always have a cat shirt on of some sort, don't I? But yeah, the weather's getting warm and my spirits are coming up, and maybe I can go lose some of this fat. Cannot believe it. Well, it's about 4:40 in the morning here. I'm making candles. I got my kitchen cleaned up. Made a big old pot of goulash, so that's what they're going to eat today. That way I don't got to mess with my kitchen again, because I don't like doing it when I've got candles sitting up here to dry, and they know better than to touch them. St. John's wort helps with brain fog. Yeah. And they actually have that at Walmart or any other pharmacy, pill form that you can take. Um, but it counteracts one of my meds that I'm on, so I can't take it. Yeah, I noticed that if you don't do it the way, everything just kind of goes to the bottom. It does, don't it? Well, I guess we'll see how it turns out. I mean, whatever. How do you use it, Aiden, darling? Aiden? Well, Turkish Princess, they make it in the capsules, like in your vitamin all, and you can get it at Walmart. Or you can use the herb itself and drink it in a tea. There's all kinds of ways to ingest it. But like I always say, when you order your herbs, make sure that the company that you're ordering them herbs from is legit and is okay. Yeah, I'd say tea. Um, because you're going to ingest this stuff and it's coming from a place you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really paranoid about stuff like that, especially us being witches. And as I've said before, it's like, oh, there's a lot of witches that drink this. Good way to knock a bunch of them out. Wilbur, she loves, they may not have St. John's wort. Where she lives. Well, they might not. Someone asked me for help with a spell once. I told them catnip, but I guess in India, catnip isn't readily available. Yeah, that's why I like the internet. That's why I like these companies like Mountain Rose Herbs. That's usually where I get most of mine. Unless a specific witch herself that I know and have been talking to for a while sends me one, and there is uh, on Amazon also, just to help support her order from Raven's Roost. I have a bunch of her herbs, and they come in the packets. I don't know, about yay big, I guess, and about that wide. And they're pretty inexpensive. They're like $3. Some are two. Some of the more expensive ones, like the Orange root that I got, I think it was the most expensive lately that I've gotten, and it was like, I don't remember, it's $5 or so for a little packet of it. That's why, you can look there. So many of these plants have so many of the same properties. I mean, if you really research them, um, they really do have a lot of the same properties. So there's all kinds of substitutions that you can make just because a recipe or spell. I was talking earlier about witches calling their spells recipes. And now they've got me saying it, but whatever your spell calls for, if you don't have it, look for a fill-in, a substitute. There's all kinds of them. Figure out what is in that herb that is needed for that spell, and find another one that has the same intention in it. I mean, I use catnip quite a bit. In fact, there's several of them in there that I use way more than others, and I need to. I don't even want to think about having to reorder them because it does get expensive. Witching does get expensive. Besides, our supplies that we think we just have to have, all the candles and all the herbs and Well, everything we just like to have. So, as I've said in other videos, it can be pretty dang expensive, witching. And this year, usually my entire backyard, and it gets fuller every year. I don't know why, but all of a sudden it does. Full of dandelions. I mean, full of them. I have a whole yellow carpet out there. So this year I'm going, I say this all the time, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to pick me a bunch of those before the yard's mowed and let them dry. And I'm going to make dandelion tea, which is supposedly good for you. I think there's something in it though that I'm not supposed to have because of my blood thinner, but I don't remember. I'm gonna have to relook at it. Yeah, there was one girl in Australia. Apparently, they don't have dandelions there. There's no dandelions in Australia. Hell, I thought them things grew everywhere. Then I told her to use bay leaf. Yeah, and don't don't ever feel bad about not being able to remember what every single herb is used for or what you can substitute this herb for that because you're never going to memorize all that. If you do, you're Wonder Woman. I guarantee you, I've been in this for years and I still have to look. Of course, my brain ain't as sharp as it used to be. Oh, yeah? I never looked for it there. Is it the catnip that, actual catnip? I mean, why would they have catnip? I mean, I know why they'd have catnip. A lot of them will have them in the toys for the cats. And my cat treats have catnip in them. I'll have to look. But I like the actual herb because I use it in my spells too. I can't very well crush up my cat treats and put them in there. Excuse me. I guess I could. In fact, I have when I've made an offering to Bast, worked with her when Lexi was sick. I just knew I was going to lose her, and she was still just a kitten. I hadn't had her very long, and I could not for the life of me figure out what was wrong with her. I mean, if she'd gotten into something or I don't keep any of my herbs down on the floor, and I'm very careful when I mix and, mess with them. I hope you guess not. Yeah, I can't nap at Dollar. You guess not what? What did I miss? So because we give it to our cats all the time and they have that catnip reaction to it. Yeah, okay. Huh, I'm gonna have to look. It's $2 for a bag at Dollar General. You can get it at Walmart. See, I didn't know that. I know you can actually get catnip. Damn. Well, the thing is, I got most of my herbs from Mountain Rose Herbs because I can't get them around here. So I just went ahead and ordered all of them. But back then I had a credit card. Uh, Needless to say, I don't have a credit card anymore. I cut it up. One for the cats and one for you, huh? So do you just let them eat the catnip just the way it is, like the herb itself? I'm so picky. I'll tell you, I would, it would just really probably kill my soul if I gave my cat something that hurt them, because it sure wouldn't be on purpose. I'm just so paranoid about people anymore. This world's gone to shit, man. You got to be paranoid and suspicious of everyone. Oh, okay. Okay. Wow, that's amazing. And I don't even know how we'd send any to her. Well, they need to be dried out anyway, so I guess by the time they got there, they'd be dried out. Thing is, they only grow and they're only good for X amount of time out of the year anywhere before they turn to fluff and blow away. I guess you can go pick a shit ton of them and freeze them. I don't know. But I mean, depending on how long it would take them to get there, if they were frozen and you put them in bags, well, I guess you could thaw them out and dry them up real good because you don't, or wrap them in paper towels. Yeah, just plop two spots on the floor and they chow down. Oh yeah, there's this thing I seen on TikTok. It not that I was on TikTok because I was not, but it came across. Uh, well, my boyfriend put it in my messenger, and it shows this woman trying to get her cat's head out of the catnip jar. That was some funny shit. I yelled at my kid for sprinkling it. You have to have them away from each other, or those two will fight over it. Well, I bet. For some reason, Kira doesn't like it, but the boys do, and they will fight over catnip. Aiden tends to be a bit of a hog when it comes to cat. Yeah. All I have to do is say, I better not say it loud either because they're both, I mean, dead asleep right now. But the minute I say this word, here they'll come. Treat, treat. I say, y'all want a treat? And I mean, here they come. Meow, meow, meow. They know that word. Your dog can't have dreads. Treats. Well, that's going to turn out a pretty dark green. I like that. I figured it'd be too hot. No, not these guys. They hear that jar open and they can. Oh, I know. Like I said, all I have to do is say the word treat. Got one underneath me here, and I don't know where Lexi's at. I don't know where she's at. I'll tell y'all what. The last 4 days, it seems like every year my back gets worse. Yeah, I figured that's what she meant. I've learned. I've been talking to you long enough, Lady Blonde Wolf. I kind of figure out what you're meaning to say. Heck, our food alone is like $5 or two, but it only lasts for a week. Yeah. See, I get that big, huge bag of the hell is it called? Uh, I tell y'all, my brain it just ain't there anymore. I get that big, huge bag of that special kitty. gourmet blend every time. And that's what they eat. My grandmother had a cat that would not eat nothing but Meow Mix. And she would drink milk. Nothing else. My cats won't eat tuna fish. They won't eat nothing else. Tried to give them oysters one time. Hell no. Just see if they'd eat them. Oh, it's funny. But anyway, yeah, my back up until today, or should I say yesterday now, has been hurting so bad that I couldn't hardly get up. I could not stand at that sink and do my dishes. I mean, it was pathetic. Danny is on a special diet. The vet told us to give her people food, but she was not wanting to eat what he recommended, so we found this dog food that's low sodium. Comes in a tube like the pre-made cookie dough, and you slice it, but it's like $5 a tube, and it only lasts about a week. Yeah, I bet. So she or he is too his sodium's too high. Surely they make regular food that I don't know. They're not as picky with it. They're getting that way nowadays though, because people actually treat their pets like their children. I do. I would kill somebody over one of my cats now. I'm not kidding. You better not intentionally hurt one of my cats or you're gonna have me on your ass. And there's nothing any good about having a mad witch on your butt. But yeah, I mean they're my children. They're my babies. But other than the the treats that they don't those and their cat food. I've tried to give them other little things here and there, like I said, but they won't. They won't eat them. I don't know. They won't eat nothing else. She, yeah. Well, I'll tell you. She's got some conditions with her back and with her knee. Heck, she's almost 6, but we had to take her to the vet. Something with her disc in her back. I guess in some chihuahuas, it's a common thing. Oh, bless her heart. Well, I know when Lexi got really sick that time, oh my God, I was just beside myself. I mean, she was still really just a little kitten, and I thought she was going to die on me. She got so sick. And then I did a spell with Bastet and put some the cat treats on an altar that I made for her. And because when I took her to the vet said we're going to have to give her a shot. And he said, no shots really hurt. And I was like, oh no. Because he didn't really have any idea what was wrong with her, but this was a shot that anything that was in her system, it was going to knock out. She didn't have worms. Um, I was trying like hell to figure out, if she got into it, something around my house, but I couldn't think of anything that I had that she could have gotten to that was poisonous. And at that time, I didn't even have the herbs that I have now. So it wouldn't have been any of that, but I couldn't for the life of me figure out why she got so sick. But she'd lay down on her little pillow in there in front of the fireplace, and I set some stuff there beside her, and she just kind of got well, with Bastet's help. She was 3 weeks old when we first got her, and we had to feed her tuna fish. Didn't move around cat food. The guy was running puppy now and trying to get rid of the dogs. We're all running a puppy mill. Jerks. And she was so little and wasn't weaned. It was the only way we could get her to eat with the feeder, tuna fish, and move her to cat food. The jerk even had 2-week-old kittens and was trying to get rid of those. Oh man, see? I'll tell you what. Oh my God. I just don't understand people. Very few things can make me madder than somebody mistreating animals. I wrote a whole spell on it. I mean, there's just no sense in it. That's just a devious, evil, mean person. I understand breeding animals, but don't breed so many that you can't take care of them, you know, and stop after a while. I mean, you have one female that's having litter after litter after litter, and it's racking her body. Oh, I just don't understand how people can be, all for the love of money. I mean, one of these days that God Almighty dollar isn't going to mean shit, and that day may not be very far in the future. Then what are they going to do? So interested in making that money, they haven't learned how to grow their own food, how to build their own shelter if they have to, how to do anything on their own. Their money, won't be any good. So nobody, if they say, well, I'll pay you to do this, so I don't need your money. What good is money going to do me now? Pretty sad. No survival skills. I guess that's a good part about being a country girl. I mean, you just seem to kind of learn that stuff, even from a very, very young age. My daddy always had a garden. I worked in gardens. I know since I was 7. Planted, hoed, even moved irrigation pipe in a cotton field and picked cotton. Talking about making for a bad back. But anyway, people are spoiled nowadays, I mean, I admit, now that I'm getting older, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And it's a combination between half the time being depressed, upset, or in pain, or all three above. So, you know, I know what to do, and the point is, we all know what to do. We just don't do it, right? I want to lose weight. Well, sitting here in this chair or around in my house every day, all day, is not going to help me lose weight. I never in my life thought that I would have to be worried about weight. It's just not ever been an issue with me, except that I was opposite. I was always too skinny. I mean, in my 20s, people honestly thought I was anorexic, pretty much. I mean, I wasn't that bad, but I was pretty damn skinny. I mean, I wore a size 0 jeans plumb out till I was 20. Yeah, he had more females than males, and females were all getting the females. My daughter's friend ended up getting a pup named a different mom. That is just so sad, them poor little things. And they're all kept in them small ass cages and don't ever get any exercise, don't no room to move. And it's so sad. I don't like to see any animal caged up. I just don't. If it's got to be caged, even a bird. I mean, I know people love their birds and they have to stay in cages in the house, but to me, that's cruel. That dog has been ride or die with me through a whole mess of stuff. Now that my kids is back, she'd rather be with her. It's okay. It was supposed to be her dog anyway. Oh no, he had the cages lined up with holes in the wall so they can go out. Okay, well, that's good. At least he was one of the better breeders then, because some of them don't even take the time to do that. They don't care about them poor things. It's pretty sad. I was watching a thing on Facebook today that somebody found a tiny little kitten, a little calico kitten, in the Walmart parking lot. I mean, it's just amazing that nobody had ran over that little thing, and its eyes were still closed. I mean, they were like half open, you know. Oh, and it was a beautiful little calico. I can't see anybody putting one out like that. They might have, but it may have happened when the mama was moving it, and maybe something scared her, and she was just too scared to go back and get it. She may have dropped it. I don't know. That's just kind of the feeling I got. I don't think anybody put it out. And I'm pretty intuitive when it comes to stuff like that, but I mean, I could be wrong. Never made sense other than the fact he was running a mellow is about to get popped and want to get. Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably the only reason that he got rid of him. It's an easy way for people to make money. I'll tell you that. Especially if they're good breeding dogs. But I mean, anymore, who's got? I know of dogs that they're like $2,000 and more, 2,500 for this beautiful German Shepherd puppy that I was looking at. They wanted $2,500 for her. Of course, she came with papers and everything, but you know, I don't care. An animal's an animal, whether they're some special breed or not. The mom might have been feral and it might have been sick, and she just left it there. They'll do that. Yeah, yeah. But these people got it, brought it home, bottle fed it, and it grew up. It showed it. They showed him as a big cat. He was giving them away for free. 12 pups are anywhere from two. Yeah, my daughter has a little Pomeranian, and I think she paid $500 for that puppy when he was a puppy for that dog. He's a cutie. I just call him hairy chihuahuas. He's a little cutie. He's come home with me. I babysat him a few times over here. I don't. It's kind of a catastrophe or whatever when he comes here now. It's chaos because All he does is want to bark at my cats. And both of my cats are bigger than he is. He's a tiny little Pomeranian, and even Lexi. I mean, Lexi's not near as big as Jesse, but I mean, Jesse's huge. He's just a big cat. He's broad. He's tall. He's just big. And Lexi, she's small for a cat, if you ask me. But she may have been the runt. I didn't care. I wanted her, and I want another one. But everybody in this household is telling me no. Tell me no. I want another baby. Oh, I had a purebred schnauzer, but she was given to me personally. I'm more of a mutt kind of person, probably because nobody ever really wants mutts. And they say honestly that mutts are the better dog. I think they're all animals, They're all precious to me. And I'm not such a dog person. Um, as I've said before, I'm more of a cat person. I like cats and me are kind of alike. We're both night creatures. We both just want our food and our bed and our comforts and be left alone. So me and cats get along really well. I don't have to take them outside to potty and walk them and all that. All I do is put down a box of litter. They're good to go. Litter, water, and food, and pet them when they want, and that's it. Otherwise, they snuggle with me at night when I sleep, or whenever I sleep. Danny is all about being up or bad, no other animals around. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. You know, and that I guess I should do a video on that, huh? I think so. Including your animals in your magic. Because you should. Should help put protection spells on them and do everything that you would for your own children. Now we're supposed to get Lucifer back when we move. But Aiden is about 15 pounds of orange chaos. 15 tons of, yeah, that's Jesse. Yeah, yeah, which is laying right down here at my feet. He's a huge cat. I mean, very big. Yeah, I knew what you meant. I guess Aiden left us. Aiden, did you leave us? Or are you listening? Are you at work? Fingernails are growing out. I'm going to have to cut them back again. As soon as I get them all growed out, same length and everything, and these, yes, are real, then I have to cut them off. I go back to work. I don't have to so much if I get this job that I'm going for tomorrow or later today. Because I'll just be given meds, but I know that there's about to be a big change. And I can feel it, but I thought I would be moving. I thought that that's what was going to take place. I'm here to work. I kind of figured you were, Aiden. I figured you was at work, sweetie. Usually, if I don't see the numbers go down on who all's on here, then I know you're probably at work. But yeah, I think that'll be, of course, Not really something to do a whole stinking video on, but y'all got any plans for the new moon? I mean, Riddick is pretty good size for Siamese, but he's more muscle. We got Aiden fixed, and that cat, Bellin, heck, he's got to be 50. Yeah, he's between 15 and 20 pounds. I bet you he's right at 20 pounds. I try to think of a sack of potatoes, like a 20-pound sack of potatoes when you pick it up, and that's about what picking him up feels like. He's huge. He's just a big cat. And he's long and he's tall, got long legs. And he still runs around this house, and all kinds of chaos and just causes. And when we get, oh, I bet. I bet it will be. They don't fight. I mean, I guess they get along. They've lived together before, right? At y'all's other place? Or at that place, that same place you're at? I don't remember. Be right back. Well, I found Lexi. She's laid up on the back of the couch. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Let's see. And he still runs around. Oh, okay. I thought I missed something there. I need to recharge my crystal that I keep in my bag. Yeah, but I'm just been kind of blah lately. Mainly because, like I said, my back's really been bothering me. And the older I get, the worse it gets. My two and my daughters all get along, at least for his Reagan's. Oh, okay. Well, I think if I was really surprised when I brought Lexi in. Um, she of course she was a tiny little kitten. Um, but Jesse took right to her. I mean, for several days he was really curious about her, but he'd let her climb all over him when she wanted to play, and he was just really good with her. He really was. I was amazed. And now she'll pick on him and pick on him, and he'll take his big ass and just literally sit on her. He sits on her. You don't hurt her or anything unless she really hurts him. Like she scratched him one time and got him in the eye. And I could tell, boy, you could see the look on his face. He took off after her, and I didn't stop him. I let him kick her butt that time. God, see what I'm saying? It sounds like we're talking about our kids because they are our children. At least for his one mean evil cat. I tell you, he's pretty good size too, but he makes Aiden his little B word. Had him back in the litter box before Aiden would hide under tables and such to keep away from him. But if we have the cats in a new place and Aiden's gotten bigger, yeah. It's definitely going to be interesting because I don't even get along with Lucifer. Uh-oh. My grandma's cat was like that, Star, and she was huge. She's a big, big, white. She was part Abyssinian and part Siamese. And she had, I mean, she would attack you. You could just like walk from the living room into the dining room and she'd be sitting there by the door and just smack you. I mean, screaming at you, swiping at you. It's a good thing Grandma had her declawed. She would have done some damage. But she was more of a biter than a clawer anyway. I guess she figured out her claws didn't work. She'd bite the shit out of you. I don't know. It is what it is, but I've been wanting a little calico actually for a long time, but I don't know. I think the two I have is enough really, but you know me, I'd have them all if I could, but I don't know. I don't know. Well, it looks like they're drying pretty good over there. Rick, we know now a lot of those people wanted to get rid of him, but apparently by the time we got him, he had been through 4 homes. And oh man, that poor thing. No wonder he's got an attitude problem. Who's that guy that goes to people's houses and oh, he's like a psychiatrist for cats. I forget what he's called, what it is, but so he was really traumatized 2 months, and I had to have him in a sage stick, have a conversation. Then he got sick. We took him to the vet, and he had to go stay with a friend when we stayed in that hotel. He thought we'd abandoned him too, but we went back and got him, but he's been a lot better ever since. Well, that's good. Yeah, it sounds to me he's just got, issues with trauma in his past. Yeah, you need to feed them separately, or I don't know. I'm sure you tried everything, but my cats, I don't have that issue. Of course, Jesse's head, when he's got his head in the food bowl, covers the whole bowl, so there's no way Lexi can get her head in it anyway. So she'll just literally reach her paw in there and flip some out on the ground and eat that. She eats that way. And she even does it now, I guess, out of habit, even when he's not there eating. She'll walk up and, I mean, the cat bowl and the water bowl, or the food bowl and the water bowl is right here against the wall by me. So I usually see them eating. Oh yeah, see, this turned out really good. I'm proud of that. Yeah, I'm proud of that. That turned out really good. I would do those in every one of my candles that I sell, but on the paper on my price list and the names of the candles and all that. I usually just make just regular plain candles. I won't put my herbs in them or my um, glitter unless they want a specialized custom candle, which I have at the bottom. You can use real herbs, and I'll put examples like roses, um, lavender, etc., etc. And it's more money. And then I'll put uh, glitter, and then I'll put so much extra. Because that glitter is expensive. I didn't even realize, and I got the big, huge variety pack, and I'm not even going to tell you what I paid for it. Seriously, it's ridiculous. But now I'm out of jars again. I'm seriously, after I finish this bag of wax, because I buy it in the 50-pound bags, or did. So after I use it up, then that's going to be the end of it, unless I have people and a bunch of them saying, "Hey, where's some candles?" Blah blah blah. Because it's just too expensive just to sit around and do. Because I love it, and I do love doing it. It's creative, fun. I love candles, But I probably have, I'd say a good 75 of them made right now. I sold a couple the other day. I may have some less. I don't know, but the next day he was in a better mood. If there's anything like spell work couldn't fix. Him, I sage stick had a conversation. I shudged the hell out of that cat. You think that's what made him sick, though? Didn't you say you saged you put sage around him and then you had to take him to the vet? You wouldn't believe the noise I just heard. Ooh, that was the weirdest noise. These cats are really temperamental and bipolar as hell. Oh, I know. Aiden and Carrie Fisher read it. Did it? Oh, they don't mean that they're going to stay at their own bowls, though. One always ends up thinking that the other one's got something that he don't and tastes better than his, so they'll be in each other's stuff. It's funny. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to look back on my email because I saved it, the one she sent me. I guess her address is on there, or I think she said, shit, I can't remember. I was hoping she'd be back on here. I mean, that's the first time I'd ever seen her on one of my lives. I say one of my lives like I do anything different. I don't. They're all lives. I thought I might have enough energy and all that to make breakfast this morning, but I think my son finally crashed out in there. So he won't want to eat. And the old man doesn't get off work till 8:30 this morning, which is pretty late actually for him. By then I'll be asleep. Usually if I'm up this late, I go ahead and stay up because I don't want to wake up just to take pills. So that's what I do. But hopefully I get this job tomorrow, and I hate to go into it with like I dread going into nursing, but I've just been out of work too long and or not working too long. I don't know. I don't know. Got to make money. Tired of being broke all the time. And the thing with it now is, I mean, I'm like everybody else. I mean, I realize that you have to wear a mask, and I've worked in nursing for many, 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 many years. And I know that there's times when you have to wear a mask, but all the time, I mean, the whole time you're in that building, you have a mask on. I'm pretty sure it's still that way. Yeah, I need to get the mirrors out, and a reverse candle will take care of that little hex issue. Yeah. I'm about to, I think delve into some pretty hard work. I'm pretty sure. In fact, I was thinking yesterday about exactly, I was researching my herbs and which ones would be the best to use because I'm going to use 6. I already have that number in my head. I don't know why, but there's going to be 6 herbs in it involved. And the problem with it is, and this is what I'll tell everyone, um, whenever I say you make sure that your intent is put out there and clearly put out there exactly what you want, how you want it to turn out, no mistakes. You cannot make any mistakes when you throw that out into the ethers because you cannot take it back once it leaves. And with this one, I'm going to have to be really careful how I word it. You know, it's one of those that it's going to take a lot more thought than most of them that I do. So, because, well, for one, I guess every spell is important, but this one's detrimental, and um, it needs to be done. But I just got to make sure that it's not a clasher, as I like to call. In other words, it don't get out there, bounce around, and come back and hit you like a ton of bricks and make the situation worse than it was when you did the spell in the first place. So I'm just going to have to, and I'm not going to tell anybody what it is or even what it's about. It's just extremely, extremely important. Probably the most important spell and work I've ever done in my life. So I'm going to have to really study, research, and go back, dig way back in here. Apparently he had kidney stones and a urinary tract infection, and that made him really sick. We didn't know it until he got real bad and we took him to the vet. Apparently he had it the whole time, and until he got bad sick, we didn't know. Well, yeah, I mean, how else are you going to know? I mean, until they get really sick. I mean, cats lay around a lot, and, animals in general just mask illness really well. And I didn't give him a stage. I just messaged him with it. Yeah. Yeah. See, I just had a spell or a incantation just fly right through my head. I didn't catch it. That's why I usually always have a pen right here and a piece of paper, because I'll be sitting here thinking and doing something completely unrelated to witchcraft, not anywhere, shape, form, or fashion, even talking about witchcraft. And all of a sudden a spell will cross my head. It's like, whoop, 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 whoop. And I'll get about half of it before it glitches on through, and then I'm stuck. So I have several hexes that I wrote myself, and spells, whatever, if you want to use one. Oh, okay. Well, I knew you didn't give it to him to eat. I was just talking about the smoke, being around him and on him. I didn't know how sage and cat or animals get along. Even in humans, when you're saging, seriously, you need to have ventilation. That stuff is strong, as you well know. And those of you that have never cleared space with sage, it don't take much. I was aggravated at something one day, and I went through this house, and I mean, I smoked myself out because I forgotten. I was so upset at the time that I'd forgotten it. I only have 3 windows in this entire house that open that are not painted shut, because some Einstein that redid this house painted them shut. And 2 of my doors and one of my cabinet doors in here that I finally had to get a knife and go in there and pry it open. Uh, I thought about doing was putting his picture under a mirror on the upside of the candle, her name on the side, and the mirror pointing at her name. Yeah. Well, I mean, do what you want, but that's what the mirror spells are usually for. You can even use those if you don't know who uh, put the curse on, like for say, on you, or if you think someone put a hex on you. And what I usually do, if you can find them mirrored boxes anymore, I don't even mess with that because they're too expensive, because they're really only good for one use. I mean, what else are you going to use them for? I mean, I have seen, the little jewelry boxes that are just all mirrors inside. Um, but like I said, that's too expensive. So I'll tell you a better idea. You can use foil. Just put her, write your petition if you want, whatever you want on there, to say whatever you want. If you want to write an actual incantation, a rhyme, whatever, write your intentions down on that paper. um, Make sure the name is on there, and if you have a birthday, that would be awesome. Some people will say you don't need anything if you don't have the picture. I mean, if you have the picture, you don't need anything else, but I don't. I'll make sure it's done. So I put all the information on that person that I have. And I have downloaded or, printed off pictures off the internet of people. That's another thing I'm saying. People have to watch witches because we're sneaky. We will get you. No, they didn't put it on me. They put it on him, and yeah, I know who she is. Oh, well, no, that's what I'm saying. But if you want it to go back to her, and you need a picture of her, put in that mirror or in that foil. I would use foil just because it's cheaper and it's usually on hand, and you can throw that foil away or recycle it. I mean, do it however you want. I'm just giving ideas. But I would put her. I would put I write out the petition. I put some kind of oil. I don't know what kind of oils you use. Depending on how baneful you want to be. There's hex oil. I think I have some in there. I know I have a recipe for it. If you want it, I'll give it to you, but it takes time to make. You have hex oil? Okay. Dollar Tree. Picture of her right now, so I'm just going to write her name. There you go. You can write it on the back of the picture. And whatever, or if you're going to use an herb or an oil, I'd use both just because I'm that way. I would put the hex oil on the front on her, on the picture. And then I'd put my herbs down that I wanted to use on the foil first, and then I would put her face down in the herbs. And then I'd say my chant while my hand was still on the picture. And then I'd fold that foil over on top of her. I had asked someone in a tarot reading, and the old man told me she put a curse on him. It said, sad, he died of COVID a few weeks later. Oh, man. Well, sounds like she has a comeuppance, as my great grandmother used to say. You'll get your comeuppance. Little old Irish woman. Well, she wasn't little, but it's funny, when I was dyeing my hair, I could honestly kind of hear her going, "What are you doing with our hair? Our hair has survived Native American lineage and all that," because she originally cursed it in the first place. I told y'all that story. Because my fourth great grandfather was an Indian chief. And he married her against her will, and she was full-blooded Irish. I can't get a picture of her, but I have a picture of him. Well, that won't do any good. Putting a picture of him in a reversal, that's not what you're trying to do. That won't be. I'm just going to use some hot foot oil. Well, yeah, don't put his picture down in there. He's not the one you're hexing. His picture don't need to be anywhere around it. That's all her. He's the one. He's the one that died, right? Is that what you're saying? Because if he's gone and you know his name and all that, you can. I mean, I don't know. about this man. If he lived around you, if you know where he's buried, you don't even have to do any of that now if he's on the other side, because he can get to her a lot quicker and easier than we can. You can help him. There's you some necromancy. That'd be interesting. And I'll tell you what you could do too, if you know where he's buried, go get some of the dirt off his grave and put it in there with the herbs that you put her picture down on top of. Now here's a time when I would usually tell whoever I'm talking to about this that be prepared when this works. You can't feel sorry or sad about it if you're going to hex someone. But I know you're an experienced witch, so you know what you're doing. Picture of him to reflect the curse. No, I don't think so. I would not do that. I wouldn't have a picture of him anywhere in that box or around that box. That's what your petition is for. Because you don't want to confuse the ethers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the best way I know how to put it. You're doing a curse, but you're putting a picture of him in there. They're going to be thinking that that's who you want the curse on. Oh, I think I would need a picture to reflect it back. No. No, the mirrors do that. Yeah, the mirrors will do that. All you need is a picture of her. If you don't have a picture of her, put her name down as fully as you can get it. If you know her entire name, so and so, so and so, so and so, you know, first, middle, last name. If there's any way you can find a date of birth, um, anything, any information you can get on her. And then you can just write all that on the petition itself. Or on the curse, whatever you want to call it. I like to call them petitions whenever I'm writing something down and asking. But that's exactly how I do it. I put her name. If you don't have the picture, you can't find her. She's not on Facebook or nothing. It's so easy to get somebody's picture off of there. That's why a lot of witches that you see on Facebook won't have their original picture or picture of themselves on their profile picture. No, the guy that gave me the tarot reading told me that a hex had been put on JCB by his ex-wife. The guy died about 2 weeks or so after he gave me the reading. Oh, okay. So the man that had the hex on him is still alive. Okay. But whenever you're doing this, make sure on that petition that you put in there with that you're actually explaining. You don't even have to explain. You can just say, you know, for what you have done to so and so, the man's name, it will return 3, 6, 9 times, whatever you want to put in there to you. It is now reflected back to you. So, I mean, usually we don't add, or I don't. I'll say, okay, whatever you put over here is coming back to you. In other words, whatever you just dished out, It's being reflected back upon you. You get the brunt of it. I don't do hexes very often. And there is a difference between a hex and a curse. You know, a hex will wear off, but the curses usually are a lifetime event, unless you know that it exists, and you you can find a witch that can get it off of you. And sometimes it takes more than one witch, and sometimes it takes many tries to succeed, depending on how powerful the witch was that put it on there in the first place. He said curse, not hex. Okay, well, it's going to take, if it's an actual curse, I believe that it's going to take more than just a mirror spell. I mean, it's a start, but there's going to have to be some deeper work done. The curse is way more serious and long term than a hex. Or that's what I've always been taught anyway. That's what I was taught. But you can still do a reversal spell on her. So you think that this person is a witch that did this, or did she just go to a witch and the witch told her what to do and then she done it? Or did she have the witch do it for her? So I think I'm a heck of a lot smarter and sharper than she is. So leave me at her, I'll send you pics. Okay. Well, if you've got pictures of her, you need to put one down in those herbs, like I said. Make sure the ethers know. They have a lock on her that way, a lot easier. Of course, date of birth is really, you know, well, there is a curse and a hex, and I don't know about. I'm not versed on the Hispanic culture, but it is in every other culture the same thing. I mean, not the same thing, but they are two different things. Even the Italian witches will tell you that. So this chick is from Louisiana that did this spell or this curse. Okay, first of all, okay, do you know do you know why she did it? I mean, was she just being facetious? Did he do something to her? I mean, do you know both sides of the story? Because I've had people come to me and um, ask me to remove curses and hexes and baneful magic off of them. And the first thing I ask is, do you have any idea why this would have been put on you? What ensued that caused this person to do this? I try to find out a little bit about the history, because I'll tell you, if he was, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but this is why I do my research on them before I cast anything. Because if he's a woman beater, a child molester beater, um, animal abuser, whatever, I want to know. I mean, if I think it's, well, good, he should have had a curse on him. Then I'm not going to bother with it. I'm not going to touch it. And not that everybody will tell you the truth either. about why it may have been put on them. Could have gotten lost in translation because his friend was translating to English. I don't know. There may not be a Spanish word for hex. Oh, he left her. Okay. Then he didn't tell you anything else about it? I'm just asking these questions because you don't want to do this for him. And come to find out, you know, he's a tyrant. And you know for sure that he left her. I'm just saying, you know as well as I do, you can't take everybody's word at face value, unfortunately. Because I've had people try to rope me into that shit. And it's like, you're going to have me put a curse on somebody that didn't do anything to you just because you're mad at them, Maybe they turned you down for a date or, wouldn't let you have a threesome with, your girlfriend, and you want me to hex them for you? Based on what I saw, she had a gambling problem and wasn't paying him enough attention, so they left. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's that, how I am. That's totally up to you. I just want to make sure you're going to be okay. I mean, I don't know these other people, but you're my sister, so I just want you to tread lightly, be careful. Those things can backfire. And I mean, she may already, be thinking that somebody is gonna to do something about it and already has a separate wall or protection put up. If she's that smart of a witch, as you might think she is. Good morning, son. I'll tell you one thing. The drama in my house is about to stop. I'm telling you, it's about to stop. My nerves can't handle it. I'm used to a quiet existence, and I just let my wax dry. Damn it. Redo it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. See what happens? And it's just a little bit. I just need to top off the top of it because it got a little hole in it. Now I have to remelt it, which every time you do that, heat it back up, it takes a little bit of the scent out of it. I think it does. Some people say it don't, but I think it does. And then I'm going to make me a black rose candle that I make for myself, my personal use. Yes. Well, whatever you got to do, Lady Blind Wolf, just please be careful. You know as well as I do, those things can backfire. That's why this one that I'm usually, if I'm going to do something extremely serious, every spell is serious. Don't get me wrong when I say that. But I'm talking about a life altering, heavy duty spell, you really need to take time to think about it. You need to have your I's dotted, your T's crossed, know exactly what you want, and which you should any spell you go into. Um, but in something like this, there's absolutely no room for error. I mean, it could go a whole different way if you don't put things just right. So on something like this, it usually takes me a good week between making sure I have the right herbs, making sure I have the right incantation, if I want to use crystals or not, if I'm going to, what colors of candles, making the date, set the date for the time and where I have privacy. By the way, things have not been going too well for the crackheads in the basement, or what we are now calling the bicycle mafia. Yeah, I kind of sent something to Hecate and on your behalf on that business too. I know we're not supposed to talk about it. I wasn't even going to tell you, but I mean, I won't tell you what I discussed with her, but um, I have, she's aware of what's going on. I'll put it that way. Well, I don't want anything bad to happen to people, but um, my issue, and it has been this way my whole life, is that I give people chance after chance after chance and the benefit of the doubt more than I ever should. And I always try to see the good in people. Um, like I said, for instance, with the crackheads, um, it's like, well, they have an addiction. Well, everybody knows that. Thing is, most of them don't want to change. You know, um, even when the opportunities are handed right to them, and they're told, okay, we're gonna go get you some help. You're gonna have a better life, a decent life. They probably still won't let you help them because that's how they want to be. And I finally learned that the hard way. If they wanted to change enough, they would take the steps to do it. You would not have to be the one standing there going, you know, same one you gave me that reading on that I asked you about. You lost me. See how I am? It's the same one you gave me that reading on that I asked you about. Oh. I don't know how I remember that, but I do. Okay. Huh. So now I'm getting the bigger picture. Huh. Oh. I get it. Okay. Moped broke down. That shit in there is right what I'm talking about. Let's just say that luck down there hasn't been that great. Well, I'll tell you what, if I was a landlord and knew anything about that, their asses would be gone so fast their fucking heads would spin. I wouldn't be one of those people that just said, well, I'm getting money every month. I don't care what they are do or what they are as long as I'm getting my money. Slumlords. And I've known a few of them. I'll tell you what, right after my divorce, the apartment that I lived in actually wasn't that bad. It was one of those garage things. I'm pretty sure like the one you live in now. But the bottom, we didn't know it until I talked to a girl I worked with into moving in down there because she was looking for a cheap place to rent. And I felt horrible because spring came and it rained and it flooded her entire fucking apartment. Then mine was upstairs and then there was one across the hall from me. But mine, it was actually, if there was a nice one, it was the nicest one of the three. His son out here beating on a woman. We think there's stuff going on with those women staying down there. But now he's thinking, oh, wait a minute. I put stuff. Oh, yeah, you did do that. I remember you telling me he's going to do that. I removed it because he rescued Aiden. Oh, okay. And honestly, a lot of them are. They're just messed up on that shit. And it turns them into freaking animals sometimes. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how I know, but I am right there on the front lines with that damn crack shit or crank. It's all the same shit to me. It's all poison. Now that he's gang leader of Bicycle Mafia, we call him Smeagol. He's been a total ass having his little gang go around stealing stuff from people. Tell you what, I get a friggin' BB gun. Aim right for his fingers. Son out here being on a woman. If there's stuff going to be, those women staying there. See? I got the nut jobs on the first floor. Man, I'll be glad when you're out of there. I know what it's like. I mean, I promise you, I know what that's like. And not, that I've done that personally. I've just never done that shit for my life. Never even wanted to. But people very close to me have gotten hooked on it, and it's just a horrible, horrible drug. And everyone that sells that shit, just poisoning people to make a cheap, a fucking easy way to make money. Well, I'll keep to myself what I think of them and what I wish would happen to them. My daughter named the camera Spy said, watch, because we've caught him smoking spice on the front porch, or at least on members. Yeah. Yeah, but can you prove that's what he's smoking? That's what a cop would ask you. Can you prove that that's what's in that cigarette, that pipe, that blunt, that cigar, whatever? Our system's set up in a way that it has to be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. And it's good in a lot of ways, and it's not so good in some ways when you know for a fact that that's what's going on, but it still has to be proven. Kids out there tweaking, a couple of them were so messed up they couldn't even walk past the camera into the house. See? Have you called the police station and told them what's going on down there so at least they can have somebody watching it and do their own damn investigation on it? if they even take the time to mess with it. Smell it. I wasn't out there when it happened. See, I don't guess I know what spice per se is. Well, okay, guys, or Lady Mama. I've been on here for over 2 hours now. I guess I better get off and get some stuff done. It's about 6:15 now. I'm gonna get. Man, I gotta pour this right quick before it dries again. Oh, I got it too full now. Oh well, you'll be all right. I always told them about what was going on in that basement, and that was what was going on the floor. They wouldn't do anything. How the guy on the first floor, we heard him screaming threats, and his wife, and his hands on her. Cops wouldn't even look at the audio we had because we had it on audio. Why wouldn't they look at it? Well, the audio would be hearing. If it was video, it would be a different story. I don't know, sweetie. I'll be glad when you get out of there. And if it was up to me, I'd wipe that type of drug off the face of the earth. But, you know, until we start getting harsher laws, and even then, I don't think that's going to help. I mean, this is just something that's going to be out there forever, I guess, or something worse will take its place. Weed spray with any kind of household cleaning chemicals. Ooh, so they don't even know what they're smoking? Take it all your own if there's different forms of it, I guess. Oh, that's sick. K2 spice. See, that is just disgusting. No wonder they run around like zombies and idiots. Their brains are frying. Literally frying. You know, I guess everybody can do what they want with their lives, but when it affects the rest of the general public, they need to be held accountable. And I sure don't want them weirdos around my granddaughters. And a lot of them idiots live right next door to my daughter. And they've been warned. It's like, y'all better not even step over here in this yard for any reason. I don't care what the reason is. If I ever find out you're in this yard, your asses are mine. Stay away from my daughter. You stay away from my granddaughters and my grandson. I don't know why they wouldn't. We had video of Smeagol too, and they wouldn't look at that. The next door neighbors called him on him multiple times. Well, somebody needs to be telling the damn landlord then, because surely the landlord doesn't want all that drama going on over there. I mean, what are they going to do? Keep one tenant and lose two, and have a room for a potential third tenant that is good, and they just want to keep them crackheads there. Well, I'm sick of them. I'm sick of crackheads. And as I said, I mean, you and I have talked about it, but I have a very personal reason. So I just hate it. I hate it for everybody. But that damn drugs affected my life personally in my world, and it just sucks. It sucks that it even exists. So, ears itching. But anyway, I guess I'll get off here and finish letting these things dry, and I don't know. I thought about making breakfast, but I got one more candle to make as soon as I get an empty thing. One night I came home and he was out there mopping his bicycle. And he ran, not walked, ran down the driveway one night in his underwear. And that man is way too old to be messing with that stuff. Well, he probably won't be messing with it much longer. Shit'll kill him. I don't know. Like I said, people want to screw with their life. I guess that's their issues. Keep it the hell away from me. I'm sick of it. Sick of drugs. Remember, it's in my kid's lease that she can't complain against other tenants. It's up to the police to handle. See, that right there should never be an illegal lease. You have the right to complain about a tenant that is doing nothing but on drugs, running around outside in his underwear. Most damn owners of places would rather you call them than get the damn law over there. It's bad for them. If I were you, I'd put a curse on my damn landlords. Maybe it'll affect their family somewhere. Hell, you never know. Maybe they do it themselves. Yeah, you said you was going to move. When did you say you were moving? I'll tell you, that's another reason I'm not going to go back into law enforcement because, well, for one, I'm too old now. My body, I can't handle the stress, and if I had to fight, I'm just too old to be wrestling around on the ground with inmates. So yes, I got to get these cards done for this video, and we have errands to run. Yeah, I'll need to. I'm gonna have to at least take a nap and find something that I can put on when I call this morning, if I can get an interview. I may set it up for tomorrow so I have more time to prepare. Because I've gotten so fat, I have no clothes to wear. Even my scrubs. Just pathetic. But okay. I will let you go and I will talk to you another time. Blessed be.